What's happening? It's me, Alex, from Poppy's Publishing, working diligently on Meow Meow's Halloween script, which I realize now I never did something like this for the first two books. I think it was just mainly writing stuff and ideas on paper and notebooks or wherever I could find things, and then just drawing whatever I felt matched that page. I did read some more kids' books because I hadn't read a kids' book in years, so I had to familiarize myself with that world again. And it's helping a little, as you can see. There's some of it. This is the second draft. So I had to do some edits. Things just were not happening quick enough. A little too much exposition and whatnot. It can kind of bog things down. And kids' books are around the 30-page mark. So we weren't getting into any action fast enough, if you know what I mean. I really want them in this haunted house with the right amount of scares I'm planning. So not to give too much away. And it was up to page 37. Like, okay, I can trim some fat, which I have done. So we're almost towards the end. Keeping most of the pages, but see where it takes me. Still, the free handwriting dump does work wonders. Each one of us has a different way of writing. Fly by the seat of your pants, outlining. I write a notebook and then I'm doing the Word doc thing, which I kind of like. It puts things in a clearer print and a little more legible. And I can always go back and edit stuff and take it out. So that's where we are so far. I just wanted to But now that we're doing these videos, I never explained how I came up with the idea to do a kid's book in the first place. Yeah, I've been drawing and writing out my own characters for years, but a kid's picture book was the furthest thing from my mind until my sister complained about the cartoons my niece watches, saying they're some of the dumbest things that's on the air, and said, you could probably write a kid's book better than that. So, of course, my reaction is, are you crazy? Me do a kid's book? I have loftier dreams of bigger and greater things like screenplays or maybe even a comic book. A kid's book? Seriously? Well, I thought, my niece is worth it. And so is my granddaughter. Wouldn't it be cool to create something for them that I can say, hey, my uncle and Poppy created this thing that's good reading for me. Something I can say, hey, I know the person who did that. So, challenge accepted. My niece was obsessed with her cat at the time. So, figured I'd do something with a cat. But then I toyed around with the idea of the cat going to school with her other animal friends, and that's been done to death. I'm like, what else could I do? Then I started thinking, well, what appeals to me? Superheroes. So let's make her a super cat who will fly around and help other animals. Yeah, simple. Good idea. I like the concept. And that's where the idea came from. And the name, I just was doing that when I worked at Build-A-Bear. Yeah. I worked at Build-A-Bear as a bear maker. And not only did they have bears to create for the kids, they had dogs and other animals and even cats. And for some reason, when someone wanted to create a cat, I would go, meow, 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 meow. I just like that. I'm like, hey, that's a good name for the character, Meow Meow. And that's how she got her name. Okay, so I had a little bit of an idea. and a character. So what kind of story am I going to craft here? How is Meow Meow a super cat? Am I doing an origin story? What's her costume going to look like? What other characters are going to be in the story? So, I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes here and show you some of my original concept art from way back in 2021 when I began drawing this little adventure called Meow Meow. And what? I didn't know what the title was going to be yet, but I had some ideas and some character sketches that I drew, which I'm going to show you right now. Okay, let's take you way back to fall/winter of 2021 when I started sketching out some ideas of what Meow Meow would be. And I just thought of her first as a simple house cat. She has a family. She lives with people. Love her, take care of her. Even have a little girl in the family who likes to play with her toys. This was just quick sketches on a pad using, I think it might have been a very thick pencil. She's such a content and very happy cat, just like every other cat. My original idea was that when the family leaves for the day, that's when she becomes the super-powered cat that flies around. Like, she'll be alerted. Let's see. She flies up into the sky. And look at her little insignia. It looks almost like a W. I was trying to go for an M. Yeah, good shot there, buddy. Looks like a W. So what is she, Wow Wow? I don't think so. But she was going to fly up to the sky and see a floating cloud who was a character I invented as a kid. I named him Fluffy. Fluffy was actually part of a superpower team called the Invincibles. But I thought, hey, he looks cute. He could help out Meow Meow and tell her where there's animals in need of help. But that whole idea kind of just wasn't working. Like, what would happen if the family comes home early and she's out in the middle of saving somebody? They're going to freak out that their cat's not there. Yeah, not a cool concept idea, I must say. And then I did this drawing. I penciled and then I colored it in with my artist pens. And I thought, okay, I can make the story this way. No. Yes, because there's so much room for error if you do it freehand. I think the way it's even lined up right now, I think the guy, who kind of looks like me, and the cat's body is a little weird shaped, and there's, if you make one little mistake using freehand pencils and pen, you're out of luck, buddy. You can't correct it. Nope. So that's when I decided I should go digital. But I started off some stuff in pencil, of course. That's how I start everything. Pencil. And then I can take a picture of it and put it on the computer and then generate images differently. So this was actually my first drawing of Meow Meow that I actually colored with the help of my niece. Yes, she was visiting me, and she added the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with the hearts and the sky and the sun, and I colored in Meow Meow in pencil. But obviously, if you're familiar with the character in the book, you'll know that this is the basis for something. But we'll get to that in a sec. First, I want to show you this original drawing, which I did in my sketchbook. And then, when I was learning how to use my tablet digitally and the wonderful program it came with, Clip Studio Paint, I redid this digitally. Yeah, wow, isn't that stellar?
think the original is way better. But I was pretty new at this. I didn't know how to really use the program, so I just decided to trace over that one, and I was slightly satisfied with the result, but it gave me the confidence to know that I could do it. I could trace over my own drawings and make something happen. What I didn't know is uh, stabilization and dots per square inch, DPI. It was set to a very low one, hence the jagged nature of things, and the stabilization, I think, was set really low. When you draw, if you don't have the right brush stabilization and the dots per inch, you're going to get this. Hey, not a bad first effort, but I knew it can be improved, so I kept going, and we'll go into that process. But if you're familiar with book number 1, you know that this was the basis for the front cover. There she goes. Yay. There's that front cover. So you see what it evolved into? This is when I was getting better, and I said, I really like that drawing as the front cover. So it eventually evolved into this lovely design, which is the cover for the first book, Meow Meow and the Lost Doggy.
Wow. Yeah, there you go. Some of that early concept art. But yeah, I'm glad I decided that she would just be a cat who just flies around looking to help other animals. That's it. She's on patrol 24/7, ready to help out any animal she can and maybe teach us how to take care of them better. Simple. Great lesson for kids. And that's where things started taking shape. But we'll get to that in another video. That's a good enough intro for this one, the third video in the series. Gives you a little inside look to my process, even going way back to when I started it in 2021 to now. So I better get cracking on the Halloween book. What do you think? Yes. So enough of my yapping. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe and like and look at the other videos. And of course, order your copy of this, Meow Meow and the Lost Doggy, and the second one, Meow Meow and the Great Horse Rescue, at barnesandnoble.com or amazon.com. You can go to my site, poppiespublishing.com, too, to check it out. And I'll keep posting more of these vids in the weeks to come as the process continues. Until then, keep creating.